my God. Welcome to the transparency. Today is Tuesday all day. Tuesday after a Monday RO hearing. It makes you feel like a Monday all over again. Welcome back to the transparency. This is live title here is Turtleboy's expert report proves he was State Street mayor. This was a live that was going to happen last night at 9:30. And then I said, you know what? Just like I predicted that Michigan would win the national championship, I predicted that Aiden Carney will be as stupid as possible because that's what he does. And he will talk about his case on the Bus Stop Live. And I'm going to actually set my live for tomorrow morning at 9:30. Well, Lana, what did Aiden do this morning? talked about his case. No way. Yeah, girl. Well, if for some reason his chat just couldn't get my name out their mouth. Well, I don't know how difficult this is to understand, but I went out and spent $15 and purchased Aiden Carney's playbook. I encourage all of you guys to go out there and purchase it yourselves. It's called I Am Turtleboy by Aiden Carney. It is 329 pages, okay? 329 pages with the last chapter that says plans for the future. Often people ask me what the future for Turtleboy holds. What are we trying to achieve here? What is our long-term goal? Well, seeing that Aiden has to be the first person to talk about anything and everything, I knew, and his chat proved it, that they will make whatever the fuck they want up and say, Atlanta has your report, Aiden. Because I took impounded material and I'm going to disseminate impounded material. No, that doesn't happen on this channel. Okay. This is not the Rough Riders. This is not the Turtle Riders. Okay. This is truth and transparency. And I was being transparent when I said that Turtleboy's expert report proves he was State Street mayor. That's what this live says. And I knew that Aiden would come out and talk about his case. And not only did he talk about his case, he talked about specifically his forensic expert. And I have no problem going on the record and saying Aiden said that his expert report and expert were straight fire, that he paid so much money, okay, and that this expert report was basically the end all be all. Now it is clear to me why the judge yesterday, okay, why the judge yesterday basically assumed what it seemed like to us that the judge assumed that he was State Street mayor. And I'm over here like, where is this? Why is this judge basically like already like just checking that in the check like column? Well, you just need a little bit of brains here. It would be Aiden's own forensic expert report that would say if that's true or not. And just like I predicted in the national championship game, Michigan would be there, Michigan would win. Michigan was peaking at the right time on their offense, and they literally were shooting lights out. If you couldn't score 90, you weren't beating them because they were going to put up 90. And they did for every game except the national championship game, which they won. And give credit, though, to UConn. UConn gave them a hell of a game. I think Hurley said it best. The way that we can win that game is we have to just play our game. If we make Michigan play our game, that's our best chance to win. Which isn't how Michigan plays, but obviously that didn't happen, and Michigan won the national championship. Well, I also said the keys to success for yesterday's hearing, if you want to get the W, he would have to go to bed early, drink a lot of water. I told you guys he was going to talk his little balls off. Okay. This little man talked his turtle nuts off. It was, and Bradle, that's exactly how it would go. He's going to give a narrative. Okay. And if I would have known that the judge was just going to let anything in, my advice to them, as far as Meredith would go and Meredith's team, is to let Aiden go first. Let Aiden go first. Let him put out that narrative that he wanted to. And so this is something that I think the one thing I've taken away from this hearing here is that if ever I was ever in the situation like this, I would have recalled my witness and just had her come off the stand. I would have reserved my time and said that, and basically just talked about the Karen Reed stuff, like I said to do, and stay with it there, pull her off. Okay. Then he's going to go. And this way, then let him put this narrative out, and then you just go blowing it up. But for him to get the win, he needed to get to bed. He needed to drink a lot of water. And he needed to prove the elements of 209A. And do you know how many times he said the word coercive control in his testimony? Well, you guys can go back and count. He kept saying over and over and over, coercive control. He kept hitting on key trigger words that were in, okay, the statute. And then you have Bradle himself asking questions that I've never seen longer run-on sentences asked as a question than I did yesterday. And he's using to trigger keywords, part of the statute. Now that we all know, this is not suspicion. This is not speculation. This is a fact. Go find out, okay, when State Street Mayor first ever made a post. That account was created by none other than Aiden Carney. That was the account that went at her fucking ham. Her job, okay? And for the judge to know that was him, and for him to literally get on the stand and an affidavit and say that I did not start talking about her until November of 2025 is an absolute fucking diabolical lie. Okay. He's attributing State Street Mayor to this man based on his own expert forensic report. Now, it's funny that Bradle tried to get in front of, well, hey, Judge, I get that you want to impound these exhibits, but they're already out there. They're public. The hell yeah, they're public, because every single, everything that was shown in that courtroom, or I should say put on a thumb drive in that courtroom and just admitted in, okay, diabolical with just that all the shit's admitted. Meredith's attorney had no clue what he was doing. None. I would love to know last time he was actually in a courtroom for a hearing / trial / litigating. He was screaming at his own freaking witness. Like, he kept cutting her off. On direct examination, you are to ask a question that's open-ended so that you can narrate. He wasn't letting Meredith say anything. In these cases, you guys, you know way more about your case than anybody else, because at the end of the day, you tell your lawyer everything. Okay. Your lawyer asks you questions about, hey, let's throw out an example. Hey, Lana, did this person contact you, and when did they contact you? Well, here's my phone records. This is the first time that this person ever made contact with me. Okay. You can see here, like, I did not talk to this person prior to this date. Okay. What about social media? What about Facebook Messenger app? What about Instagram messengers? What about email? Okay. That's what a good lawyer would do then, is to ask those follow-ups outside of the courtroom to get the facts straight. Now, do you know how long it would take for me or anybody, even you, Meredith, Turtleboy to sit down with an attorney and explain all of this shit about your case to them. It would take a ton of hours, and that means a ton of money. Then the lawyer, after hearing all of this stuff, if they're making a good, timeline, then they start weeding the shit out. Like, then they start, hey, no. That's all I was trying to help with, was that if you get into the weeds with this man and you lay the foundation of like that you are going to try to make it relevant of what happened during your relationship, you're going to lose. Well, let me put it this way. You're not going to win. Okay. Like, y'all both are going to look like this is a crazy diabolical relationship between two people that were consenting in it, because you're bringing up a time period of when you guys were together and you didn't leave and he didn't leave. Okay. So then why are we talking about May of 2025? Why are we talking about July of 2024? Are you people kidding me? Are we going to be kidding ourselves? Why is any of that stuff relevant? The only thing that would be relevant is for Meredith. Well, it wouldn't even come out of Meredith's mouth though, because it's not Meredith's allegations. They were out there they were looking at his attorney. I mean, her attorney was looking at Aiden's affidavit and asking Meredith questions about that affidavit that's not even been testified to. That is the most mind-boggling shit I've ever seen in my life. Okay. You need to treat Aiden's wait till he gets on the stand. Okay. But Meredith put in her stuff first, went to the court first. And there is something to be said about that. And the question is, why did you come? Why did you come here today? Why did you come here, 2 weeks ago? Why did you seek out the court's help? I know you didn't seek out the court's help because of fucking what happened in May of 2025. Meredith knew her case like 1,000 times and will always know her case 1,000 times better than any attorney. Okay. Meredith would have been better off going pro se. And I don't care what any of y'all say. Okay. Meredith needed to tell the chronological order of events. Her attorney didn't know the chronological order of events. If you don't know it, then how do you ask a question to get somebody to start talking about it? Well, you better be a goddamn good litigator to know how to do that, to know how to, Bradle's always in the courtroom. That doesn't mean he's good, but he's always in there. And when it was Bradle's turn to take over and present his case, he puts Aiden up there. And what is he doing? He's asking questions that were still leading in a way, but open-ended. Here you go. And then what happened next? Hey, Aiden, I'm going to stop you right there. We're going to get into that. Okay, so when was this? But then the judge caught Tim Bradle with his hands in the cookie jar, creating multiple clips and trying to pass them off as the same day. He got caught doing that. That's fabricating and manipulating evidence. That's wild. That's wild that that's not being more hit on with people that are talking about this case. It's black and white. It happened in front of our faces. And that judge told Bradle what was up about it. It's like a police officer interviewing a witness. If you don't ask me the question, I can't answer the question as a witness. I'm not getting out of answering a question. They just never asked me that. Okay. But that would have to be explained. Right. And it's the same thing here with Meredith. Meredith was not given the opportunity to explain anything in a like. It was all over the place. When did you guys start dating? Like, this man didn't ask Meredith anything to lay any type of foundation. Meredith, what do you do for a living? What were you doing prior to meeting Mr. Carney for work? Where'd you go to college? Like, he didn't lay out anything to show that his client is a mother, a single mother, that she's been working where? How long had she been working? Has she ever been terminated from a job before? We didn't know anything about Meredith. Hey, but by God, we know that Jess Machado is a fucking independent journalist and she doesn't work for any company and never has. I mean, we got more out of Jess Machado in her life than we did out of Meredith. So, and then you have to ask yourself this. How in the world did this judge, I think, did it like a 180? This judge went from like, I think he was just really pissed off about the process. Like, he's like, I can't believe I'm dealing with people that claim to, you guys passed the same bar, he said. It was dying about that. Okay. Well, I think that they need to go back and take the bar. Okay. I don't know if that guy would pass today. I'm not playing. Wild. Now, all I cared about was learning the facts on the timeline of Aiden tried to say that he was not talking about Meredith, and he never was. Okay. That is proven 1000% false when we find out that, holy shit, it is a fact that he was the State Street Mayor Twitter account. Do you guys know what the fuck that account was putting up? He was going at her while claiming and being out here to all of his viewers and subscribers and members for months upon months, claiming that he's not doing anything. Meanwhile, this piece of shit can't even fucking do it in his own name. He's got to be a little fucking turtle troll. Look at this turtle. Look at him. That is absolutely diabolical. You got caught. He got caught. That's all I cared about. Was he truly, how are you going to be able to prove that he is the State Street Mayor account? Because if you can prove that, then everything that this man has said is a lie. You don't even have to talk about 2 and 6. Okay, because he just puts it out there that he never was talking about Meredith online until November 28th or 27th, after she did whatever. And I told my truth journey episode 1 with frickin' frack on the fucking screen because he can't do anything by himself. He was never going to talk about Meredith, but guess what? He tried to frame Meredith for the whole Karen Reed shit. And I don't care. If I was Meredith, I would have fucking subpoenaed Karen Reed. And I would have asked Karen Reed when she received an email, did her lawyers receive emails? How does she know that they received emails? Were they given to her? And now, is that a client attorney privilege? Well, but what if she wants to say, well, yeah, I was sent something? Well, without telling me what y'all talked about, did you receive an anonymous email? What was the date of that? And it was the subject material of that anonymous email that you received a conversation that you had with Aiden Carney. And what was the date? Meredith, how long had you been broken up with Aiden Carney when Miss Reed? So then when she gets off, Miss Reed. Oh, clearly he couldn't get it out enough. I broke up with her July 10th. Then why the fuck is Aiden calling Meredith at the end of August, beginning of September, and telling him he's so afraid what Meredith is going to do with, oh, she's going to go tell the Reeds that I was talking about having a threesome. Yeah, and that was way before, right? And so you thought that I'm going to call up Meredith and tell Meredith about me recording and committing a felony, and I'm going to supply that to Meredith. Okay, why? When you're so afraid of her, would you ever do something like that? These are the type of questions that would have had the judge like saying, yeah, I want to hear this. Go ahead, answer the question. And what was the date of that? And what was the date of this? And y'all hadn't talked in how long? Yeah, Mr. Carney, why are you calling her up to give her this information if you're so... I am petrified of this woman. And you're going to give her the biggest piece of ammunition to take you down and get you arrested and put you back in jail? Nobody would believe that. They would look at this man and say, you're not afraid of this woman in a manner of coercive control because you just provided her with the material. And the question would be as to why. And it's because it was a calculated step that he did on purpose to frame Meredith. Because his shit backfired so badly with Karen Reed and that anonymous email that Karen Reed went and told people about it and said, I am fucking done with this motherfucker. Okay? And he tried to literally frame Meredith because he was at first going to say that she recorded it, that she was there when the call was made and it was and she recorded it. Then it moved from that to then, no, we shared this account and she had the Facebook messages. And so she sent the email. And then it just kept on changing and changing and changing. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you say. It is about the preponderance of the evidence. And there is nobody that's a judge that is going to believe that you are petrified of a woman. Okay. In 2024, when you're getting out of jail, and that you then testify again about she's driving 100 miles an hour, she's going to wreck us, yet you continue to get into a vehicle with her. How many times did she drive after that? We can prove that y'all were driving past, what's his name's house? Nobody would then get into a car with somebody if they felt that way. You lay all this shit out for the judge with the biggest piece of, I came to get a restraining order because of what happened, and it started to happen to me at the end of August, beginning of September of 2025. And then it continued on. And then when I tried to fight back, I lost my job. That's the truth. That's what the timeline shows. Period. And nothing prior to the end of August, beginning of September is relevant. None of it is. If he wants to say it, that's his story. If he wants to start in 2024 and 2025, and that's where he wants to go when it's his turn, he is going to get absolutely nut crushed. I will take a fucking cracker, and I probably won't even need to use a cracker. I probably use my hands, and I will just close them. Because none of that shit is relevant. But the moment that you talk about it as the person that went to go get this restraining order and bring up all that shit about you guys' diabolical relationship and who was calling who how many times and blah, blah. I mean, that's ridiculous because you didn't go to the fucking police and you were part of that relationship. Like, that's how you guys had a relationship. You realized that this is diabolical and I need to get out of it. So y'all broke up. Why did this man come back? And he came back to tell you about Karen Reed, who you supposedly are holding over his head in a threesome? Give me a fucking break. Nobody's going to believe that. He came back to fuck you over. And that's when everything started. And that's why you went to the police. I shouldn't say the police, the courts for help. You didn't go to the courts for help when he was calling you 47 times a day. So why are you mentioning it? Who gives a fuck? It is irrelevant. It literally is irrelevant. It does not matter. the pattern, when you want to talk about a pattern, you're going to establish that in a completely different way. The pattern of this man. This man sought you out. This man contacted you for the purpose to try to frame you for a felony. Then he talks about PTSD. He's best friends with Lindsay now, the person that gave him this PTSD as to why he was rearrested because of bail, his bail revocation. Who talks to somebody and is friendly with somebody that does that to them? Not somebody with PTSD from that person. You don't go and get re-abused. I personally believe that this man saw through it. And the reason I believe this man, the judge, saw through it is because of State Street Mayor account. When was State Street Mayor account created? What's the date on it? And now we should all ask ourselves, oh, this is what Tim Bradel was going on about, why he wanted to bring up the koala motherfuckers, right? He wanted to talk about the Aussies. Let's talk about the Australians. Yeah, there's some fucking cyber fucking team. The State Street Mayor account, they were able to take back over way after the fact. Way after the fact. And this is why timelines matter. And this is why rehabilitating your client on the stand is important. Mayor, do you remember when Mr. Bradel was talking to you about the Aussies and the koalas? Yep. What is the dates? Let's start with the dates here. When did the State Street Mayor account start threatening you and doing all this stuff? What's the date? Boom. Okay. When did Mr. Bradel wants to refer to some... When was that account taken back over by these koala people? That was until when? Whoa, way down here. Okay. So between this period and this period, who owned and operated the account? Well, according to Aiden's report that he filed, it was him. The expert said that account was your client's. Exactly. And it's right there. That should be the biggest, oh my goodness. And then they think that they did some wonders here. Then you have Jess Machado getting on the stand and she's like, no, I'm the one that called and got Meredith fired. And then the judge is like, and you're with him. And you're with him. Those are the words of the judge. And you're with him. And you're with him. Talk about somebody that their life is so boring. I'm just going to get in anybody and everybody's lane. And you're with him. Those are the judge's words. The judge saw through it because of the State Street Mayor account, guys. That takes his whole affidavit where he starts with it. But Meredith's attorney had he had the winning hand. He just sucks. Okay. And now imagine this. Tim Bradel went up against literally the 8th grade team. He's the varsity team. Tim Bradel went up against the 8th grade team. Okay. And the judge saw through it. Because of what? The State Street Mayor account. Because your client started this account and went at this woman. And then so what did she have to do? She's over here trying to say, like, that's not how that happened. And this didn't happen like this. She's out here trying to show a timeline of events. But how did this all happen? And how did this all start? The question would be did the State Street Mayor account, did it start while you guys were in a relationship? Or did it start after you were in a relationship? You were missing work to go to his events. You were missing work to go to Karen Reed stuff, right? Were you getting fired because of that? No. It was after you. Oh, the other thing that the lawyer didn't make a good enough point is Meredith, did you have a YouTube channel that you actively participated on your own where you did and covered anything? No. So why did you start going live on your channel, and when did that occur? I started going live on my channel on this date, which was, wait, when again? So let's get back to this whole Turtleboy's expert report proves he was State Street mayor. You guys do understand that that's in writing. And it was forensically proven that he started that account. He started that account. The judge said, yeah, no, that account was, and then he understood the whole part of the Google algorithms and YouTube and Twitter and the whole how hashtagging works and tagging. And he says it himself. He's like, yeah, if she makes a post, it's out here in this orbit over here. When he's doing it, it's triggering a specific target audience, which is State Street. The judge understands that. If this lawyer of Meredith was worth a damn, he would have asked him to come. Mr. Carney, you created and started tweeting as State Street mayor. Isn't that correct? Isn't that right? And then I would have been asking the judge, I can't believe that he wasn't doing this. Your Honor, I'm going to ask yes and no questions. If his lawyer wants to go ahead and, rehabilitate him, that's perfectly fine. But I'm on a crunch time here, right? And I want to try to get through my peeps. So I have a rebuttal witness after this. Mr. Carney, yes or no? Did you create the account State Street mayor? With what device? When did you create that account? How many times do you think that you wrote comments with that account? What if I told you it was 150 different times that you wrote with that account? That's the type of shit and how you just hit. There's no jury. It's just to him. So you created that account. This is the date. And and then show him the different clips and have him, yes, I made those statements. And have him read a couple of them. And then that's it. But once everything was supposedly submitted and admitted into evidence, it was like the procedural structure of the courtroom went out the window. I believe the procedural structure of the courtroom went out the window as soon as they called the case, but whatever. This man, though, was State Street mayor. And that's all that matters. And it's a fact. And it was the judge knows it. And that makes his affidavits, all of them, lies. So then it's going to come down to credibility. And no offense, but this is what the judge, I think, is going to come back with. Meredith could just blow her brains out with cocaine. It doesn't matter. Has nothing to do with anything. Every point that they were trying to make had zero relevance to anything. For all this judge believes is she's blowing cocaine because she's got to deal with this motherfucker. Tim Bradle had so much personal he was so personally invested in this because Meredith put out his messages. Just remember that. And then here's Turtle.
Because all that did was give me a chance to put more stuff into evidence that wasn't put in court yet, explaining everything that's done to me. I don't think you scored a single point else at the
Every day, motherfuckers still doing this shit. Doesn't know how to transfer shit over.
Let's get rid of that green screen. I didn't tell anyone to go to anyone's house. Like what? Like this is it. But I didn't tell anyone. The public court affidavit. I didn't even realize it was an address. Like I didn't tell anyone to go to anyone's house. Like,
but Karen Reed told you to go to someone's house. That's a dig on Karen Reed right there. If you don't believe that it is, woo! Woo! Damn, Karen Reed right there. He's taking shots. Look, Karen Reed.
Like what? Like this is it. But they made it sound so much more sinister than it was. And the judge, like it didn't help that the judge is they put a judge on this who knows nothing about the internet, has no idea what any of this means. And I feel like
I think he caught on real quick to what it means. He thinks people that watch you are absolutely pathetic. Okay. He's like, people listen to what this man has to say. Yeah. Because he fucking will say, I'm gonna write a blog about you if you don't, type shit.
Point was not communicated that she also is on YouTube and also has 14,000 followers and has been posting about him, for that long. So anyway, it is what it is. So the whole thing was just very, wasn't fun for me. So
it wasn't fun.
And I didn't, I
usually these are, he's like, usually these are fun for me. And you know what? Yesterday wasn't fun for me. Is it because he's afraid that he lost? Yeah, I agree, DB. When he got that and he understood that the whole orbits were different, somebody just posting and not tagging, it's night and day. It's night and day. And he knows this. You know how I know that he knows this? Because he refuses to tag me. That's how I know. He tagged me the first couple times he ever wanted to talk on Twitter, and then he stopped. He knows all about tagging, and he knows that that's direct communication.
Thought like it's a serious matter, and like I like the joking and the laughing and stuff like that. It's like okay, and the hurrying us along, like you got to get this done now. It's like, but this is a serious matter. Like I certainly hope an order isn't granted. And like you have to get
there's appeals. There's appeal process. I think Meredith should fucking appeal on the grounds of ineffective assistance of counsel. I think she would win. I think that Meredith is owed a day in court with due process and effective assistance of counsel.
It's done in an hour. It's like, but there's more. Anyway, it was very frustrating. So, yeah, like we couldn't even get to that because we were rushed along. We wanted to play that. What
are you talking about? Rushed along. He admitted all of you guys as exhibits. He admitted them. These guys did not know what to do if they couldn't show something. You understand that? The judge kept saying, all of this has been admitted. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch this all. Okay. So what do y'all want to tell me? You understand? Notice how none of them refer to their own fucking affidavits for shit. But I cannot believe that this man had the balls to say that Meredith is driving 100 miles an hour, white knuckled, and gonna kill him. And then like, wait a second, that's the same night that she stole your shoe, she's drunk as a skunk, right? She's drunk as a skunk doing this, okay? Then she gets back to the apartment, and that's why I said I would have asked how big this apartment was. It's probably like 800 square feet. And she was playing hide and go seek with you, with your shoe and your he thought, like that's what she was doing, playing hide and go seek with you, drunk as a skunk. She's managing to record you, drunk as a skunk. She's like just hitting on all these points. And or was it like Matthew Farwell? Maybe you left your key in the car running. How about that? Well, he was raping a girl. How about that? Maybe he took one out of Matthew Farwell's book. And the last time I checked, when people take your things, you just go straight down their shirt, push them over like Lindsay Gattani that she did. And then you went rummaging through her whole, like, where are my notes? Where are my notes? My notes that I need to see your phone, Lindsay. I need to see your phone, girl. Who you been talking to, baby? Who gives a fuck who Lindsay been talking to? I'm going to get you a lawyer and you're going to say that you don't remember shit. Delete all this shit. You give me PTSD. And then I'm trying to fuck you in 6 months. And maybe a year. Diabolical. Okay. Just wild shit.
It was very annoying that we couldn't, you know?
Very annoying that we couldn't show it publicly. I don't know what's annoying. The man accepted all of your shit. Why didn't you talk about your expert report that was handed to you? Huh? Why didn't you talk about your expert report?
Pin the turtle chat? Okay.
There was nothing more. I saw pin it on the girl. Should be the name of his shit with Meredith. It should be, this is Alan Jackson's version of pin it on the girl. I would have told the judge if I was Meredith that I'm dealing with a narcissist. I think you can tell that by the way he answers and talks to you. You see the judge, and the judge was like, yeah, Your Honor. Like, you're going to address me, Your Honor. The judge does not like this man. And I would in fact use the words despises this man.
Not pin it. It is pinned. Yeah. I just have to remember that, I just want this to end. I agree with the judge at the end about, this fire needs to be put out. Amen. I tried to put this fire out. December 13th.
You lied and you said that you were being extorted by fucking Jason Broyles. Jason Broyles? I didn't extort you, motherfucker. We all know this. You want to talk about time running out? Why didn't Jason Broyles take the stand? Jason Broyles, from what I'm understanding, he was there just like Jess Machado to testify. What was he going to testify to? My sauces told me that he's going to testify and literally rake you over the coals. You were the one extorting.
I called her crying. A lot of people didn't think I should do that, but I did. I said sorry for things that I wasn't really sorry for, just to get everyone.
Do you see that right there? I said sorry for things that I really wasn't sorry for. Clip that shit and send it to the judge because there is not an order in yet. That is ridiculous that this man is talking like this. I said sorry to her for things that I was not sorry for. That's not what he said in the stand yesterday. He said, Your Honor, I called her and I was crying and I was apologizing. He didn't leave that. He didn't say that part. The judge saw through him. Promise you that. It's gonna matter. Does Meredith meet the elements to award her protection from this man? And I think she's gonna win it. I do. I think Turtleboy shot himself off when the State Street Mayor account is why she's gonna get it, in my opinion. Because that shows a pattern. You couldn't. That's why I was like, you don't need to talk about purple head, and you don't need to talk about Ray from. None of those people matter. He did it himself when you proved that he was State Street Mayor. That's all that matters. He did it. Then you're connecting him to the direct harassment, to the direct annoyance, to everything about that statute. Nothing else mattered.
To stop.
And his own expert that he paid thousands of dollars to proved that he started and was the State Street Mayor account. And that, all of you Turtleboy supporters, swallow that pill, baby. Because that's the biggest pill you've ever had to swallow, which is this man is a liar. This man trolled his own fucking girlfriend. And then when she became his ex-girlfriend, and then literally named the account to go at her fucking job. And you want to talk about real life? This man is the real lifer. In his playbook, I own you in your playbook. So take that and shove it up your fucking ass. Take your playbook, okay, and go masturbate with it.
And I said, can we please stop? Can we please just stop? It's not, we have history, just, this isn't, I'm sorry.
for Yellowstone. Like, I just like.
What do you mean? I'm sorry for what? You just said 2 seconds ago, you're not sorry. That you didn't mean any of it. And so maybe that's why she told you to go fuck yourself in your fucking sorries, Aiden, because you don't mean a goddamn word that you're saying. You're only calling me up because Bradle and Betterow are about to leave your ass. Because now the timeline clicked with me and why he the fuck called like a little bitch. Because Betterow called him up saying, what the fuck? How are our text messages out on the internet? And you trolled me by being ghetto, mellow, or who the fuck this account is? I'm gonna lose my people. You gotta. That's why you reached out. You piece of shit. When you fucking lay all the fucking timeline and you actually lay it out. Meredith had an 8th grade attorney. You had a man that's been standing by your side, facilitating and asking you questions so that you could lie on the stand. That's professional misconduct. I think that I may make a personal complaint because I know the timeline and I have no problem sending that shit to Boston. But what Tim Bradle is allowing you to do is 1000% violates the professional code of ethics.
Literally crying. And I took down the streams for a while, the Valid Truth Journeys, and she just said, no, I'm not stopping.
And so that you put them back up? That didn't come out in court. You never said that I took them down for a while. You said I took them down. I took them down, Your Honor. This is, wow. I would to lose to an 8th grade attorney because that's about what's going to happen here. That's how it was so bad, you guys. But the judge saw through the fact that, hey, it doesn't matter that she has a shitty attorney here. If I'm admitting both of these people's stuff because that's what they've all agreed that I'm allowed to look at all this stuff. This man's getting an RO. This man will be. I should say Meredith will be granted her restraining order against this man. Because he is, and always has been, State Street Mayor. You went at this fucking girl. You went at her with everything that you fucking had. Okay? And you couldn't even be the fucking man to call up her own work and get her fired. Okay? You had somebody that has benefited from being friends with you online to grow her viewership and to spin it with her work.
So, yeah, I don't even know. It's like, what am I? I don't know. And I feel like that the judge didn't even get to hear all this, man. So, and you know,
you're all what? Dude, look at how he's still like. Were you at the same? Was he even present? Was he present yesterday? All of your affidavits got submitted. All of them. Everything that you wanted in, motherfucker, it was handed over. It's in. So when you want to talk about, I didn't even get to talk about this stuff. Oh, you mean publicly? You didn't publicly get to have your entire narrative out there? Well, then maybe you shouldn't have done a tactic and had it on the same day. And you could have been granted 4 hours to go, carry on, oh, wayward son. Go have it.
Mutual ROs, it's like, well, that means an RO's on you. You know, yeah, it's one on her too. So it's validation and protection because I'm not lying when I said that you don't understand.
I'm not lying. You don't understand. I'm scared, boy. Errand boy. I got a pool so Karen can be my errand girl.
The fear.
You don't understand the fear. What? The fear of what? All of your dirty ass shit that y'all did together coming out and it fucking you with your criminal case? Because if I'm Causey, Mr. Cosgrove, Meredith, I would like to speak with you. Would you like to speak with me? Yeah, I would like that very much so. Carry on our way.
And they played a clip, of course, where I was like saying, I don't fear what you can do to me yet. I don't fear being put in jail. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
I'm confident in my legal case. I don't think this person could put me in jail. Fearful of other things.
What are you fearful of then? What are you fearful of?
But there was a lot he didn't.
What? Her committing suicide and you getting blamed for it? He's insane. I don't know how the fuck you all watch this motherfucker. The lies.
here.
This is almost as bad as Vanessa Walsh saying that she had a source that was the cousin of Nicole Kessinger. And I'm like, oh my God, no, her source is a legit streetwalker. She's a hooker. She's a prostitute.
Want to hear exactly, and that's the whole thing. It was just like, well, it's internet stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, then I don't know. It was very, very stressful, very stressful. So,
this is your life. This is what you choose to talk about. When he wanted to talk about Jason Broyles and that Jason Broyles puts himself in all the drama, there was only one question to ask on Cross about that. You mentioned Mr. Broyles being involved in all this drama, and that would be by him watching your channel, right? So you are the drama, right? Yeah. Yes, I guess I am. You have shows that are titled Ratchet Madness, right? Ratchet Redemption, right?
And yeah, I just went out for a drink last night. Went to my favorite place in Rentham. Just like, you're constantly feeling like you're being, that was not allowed. All right. And so that's why I'm like, yeah, watch how that fucking goes. That's it. So I'm going to spend all day dealing with this.
He's going to spend all day dealing with what? You pay a lawyer to write a 5-page closing. What are you doing? If you're doing any work, you should fire your attorneys.
Yeah, let me see here. Let's check out these videos. So like the sex thing, they play I didn't even think that would matter at all.
Yeah, okay. That's why it was so bad that it lasted all of 2 minutes. Okay, Aiden?
No, yeah. It's so bad that it lasted all. So that's crapping on me sexually, right? That's fine. That's what people do when a relationship ends and they don't like the person. They take shots at them sexually. But then to play the victim and say, oh, they're talking about me sexually. What the hell do you think that was? Judge's like, in front of 200,000 people. Oh, well, what's the appropriate number where it becomes like bad? And also, I've never had a crowd of 200,000 people. I wish. That would be very cool.
He's so full of shit. It's based off of the number of views that the video eventually gets. It's not based off of the views that how many subscriber count you have. Are you people dumb? How many views did the video get? That's all that matters. That's how you would, how many people have YouTube channels that have like 5,000 subscribers and go on them and they've had hits on different things they've ever talked about and they've had 1 million views? So stupid.
Like online.
Yeah, like, so, not bothered by it at all. She seemed pretty bothered by it yesterday and certainly made the judge seem like she was very bothered by it.
He's like, it was amazing. I know, but this is him. I know, but the sex last night was so fucking amazing. Yeah. So like, I don't need to share. There's about 200 more texts like this. I don't need to share it. You guys get the point. I don't need to be fucking 35 years old sharing shit like this. Like he's okay with at 44 being a fucking creeper and doing this. And then those two anti-boner brigade people, the grifters, Jess and Jimmy, are just watching him with like bated breath. Like I don't need to.
Like that was, like it is what it is. But anyway, we have a lot of work today with the closing. So anyway, let me read some turtle chats here if we have. Give me a minute to pull some of these up. If you're using a Windows computer or an iPhone 15. Okay.
Look at this.
Mutual orders. I mean, I definitely want an order, but she's much more likely to abuse that than I will. And that's one more thing that I need to worry about. And I don't need anything else to worry about. In my opinion, it should, I'm not the one using coercive control. Like that's literally what the definition of what she's doing. Monitoring me electronically. I'm not doing that with her. I'm not monitoring her. I don't care about her. I'm not doing anything like that.
You talk about her every single day. Nobody does that. Because you're going to do it for one of two reasons. Ready? You don't have anything else to talk about, or it makes you money. Why would you continue to talk about this?
But anyway, so this is the company I hired. Let's see, Sage. Wait, is this it? Sage Intel?
This is so here it is. This is what I knew would happen. My title of my live was Turtleboy's expert report proves he was State Street mayor. Hey guys, I'm going to go live tomorrow morning at 9:30. I told my live chat that last night. Okay. Well, 9:30 would be 1 hour after his bus stop live. And I'm like, this motherfucker will run his cocksucker. Let's take a look.
Sage Intelligence Group. Sage Intelligence Reporting. Okay. A flexible reporting and analytics solution built for Sage customers. Visualize your data online or download your report to Excel, blah, blah, blah. Analyze your data the way you want. Easy customized reports, meaningful insights to your business. So yeah, that's the name of the company. Let's see, products and solutions. Yeah, I mean, you can go on their website and see what they do. Accountants, partners, business partners, let's see, partners. Overview. No thanks. Business partners, tech partners, service delivery partners, alliance partners, partner success, any expertise, get accredited with special training. I don't know. Go check it out. That is Sage Intelligence. And that is the company that we got. So Mo also gave her impounded affidavit, right? Gave who? I'm not sure what you're talking about. All right, cool. You like those turtle magnets on the fridge? Somebody sent those to me. They're nice. Thank you for whoever did that. Well, usually I just throw stuff right in the trash, but those are useful. I could use magnets. I could definitely use magnets.
Usually I just throw that shit right in the trash. Whatever you fuckers send me, I usually just throw in the trash. Dead. Absolutely dying over here over that. Hey guys, whatever you guys send me, I just usually throw in the trash.
Fairy sends $10 and goes, I'm sorry, Aiden. I didn't find anything funny yesterday. Her blatant lies made me so.
Okay, so let's see. Dusty Rose LA says she gave the report to Lana. Idiot. This is how one of his mods said, can't Lana Day Lulu get in trouble for that since the judge impounded all the documents? Because Letterow by Betterow says, Dragonfly said Lana has your impounded report. She shouldn't have that. Because Letterow by Betterow told Aiden that I am going to be showing his report and reading it off. That's how these people, and that's their comprehension. Number one. Number two, this is how you incite shit. They say this to him while he is live. Okay. And then watch this shit. Watch how they make this boy spin.
And that's why we need to nail disclosing. Disclosing is very important. So thank you. Next. Joan sends $100 and has no comments. Thanks, Joan. Brittany sends $10. Goes, what about the forensic report? Yes, we went over that. Thank you. Misty sends $5.
Right there.
My online name is
right there.
Very important. So thank you. Next.
Let me make it slow down so we can hear it. Please listen up, guys. This was about an hour ago that he said this. Maybe like an hour and a half. He said this between 8:30 and obviously 9:30 this morning.
Joan sends $100 and has no comments. Thanks, Joan. Brittany sends $10. Goes, what about the forensic report? Yes, we went over that. Thank you.
Yes, we went over that. Thank you. Yes, we went over that. Thank you. They went over the forensic report. Did you guys just hear that? So they went over the forensic report between 8:30 and 9:30?
Misty sends $5 and goes, my online name is Scottsgirl 2004, longtime listener. I did not care for this judge. He let the room be chaotic. This was not taken seriously, in my opinion. What happened to the judge y'all had last week, I hope you get a good outcome, but who knows at this point? Deeply disappointing. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but we got to nail this closing. She's not alleging I hit her. Yeah, you know, some people said I said coercive control too much.
I just got a donation. This is the best comment. Sends $20 and says, here's a refund for Turtleboy's book. Says, I've learned so much. Fucking A. Heather, cheers.
But
that's hilarious.
You know, we're trying to prove that. It's like, we are trying to prove that she coercively controlled me, because that's what you have to prove. So I don't know. Some people are saying,
guess what? That is not ever going to be coming out of that man's mouth because of State Street Mayor. There's no coercive control. That would be you. And when you created that account and what you tried to then do.
I said that too much, but I don't know. I feel like that's what we had to prove, so that's what I focused on. Next.
He focused on that because of Mara's affidavit. He doesn't know the statute. And so he mimicked what she did. Right, Aiden? Right. He's never once said the word coercive control ever. Ever. Until after he read her affidavit. Go back, check the material. Run all of his fucking streams. Okay?
All right. Panda.
Now I have to speed this back up because I can't stand this.
Sends $10 and says, hey, Aiden, I'm sure yesterday was extremely difficult, but you did an awesome job getting the truth out there. Hopefully you can put this behind you and focus on the positives you have going on right now, because there are so many. Exactly. Like, no matter what happens here, guys, I still have a great life. I have an awesome family.
You guys, this is what somebody says when they lose. You guys, no matter what happens here, I have the great life. I. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, keep telling yourself it, daddy. I cannot wait to put my lips.
Awesome kids, an awesome house, awesome future. And she doesn't have any of those things.
She doesn't have any of those things. She doesn't have any of those things. She doesn't have an awesome family. She doesn't have an awesome house. She doesn't have awesome kids. I have it all, and she has nothing. Okay.
No, and that's what the anger comes from.
I don't know who's the bigger victim. That's a fake victim, this man or Hidden True Crimes. Okay. We may have to compare the two.
So no matter what here, I win. You know,
no matter what here, I win.
Okay. Rachel sends.
Man. Yeah, buddy. Oh my God. The delusions of this man. Oh. No matter what, guys, I win. I fucking win. All I do is win, no matter what. Even when I cheat, even when I'm found out. Come on, brother.
$10 goes, when she said you had a toddler tantrum instead of a panic attack, the judge definitely changed his views on her. You can see it in his face. Yeah. I mean, what'd you guys think of that when she called it a
he was like agreeing with her, like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he was throwing a toddler tantrum. That's exactly what they do. It's exactly how toddlers act. That's not a panic attack. A panic attack is like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. That's how you wake up in the middle of the night kicking and screaming like that. That's what Meredith was in bed awaking to in the middle of the night. Even when he loses, he wins. Yes, exactly.
Toddler tantrum, as if she's a medical expert that knows the difference.
You were asking her medical questions over and over again.
Between a panic attack and a toddler tantrum. I'll tell you one thing, that was not a toddler tantrum. That was genuine fear. Okay?
That was genuine fear. And Bradle playing it like a fiddle, man. He's like, yeah, let's talk about this chronological events. You told him that you were calling the police and gonna lie. No, I told him that's why he would stop filming. Were the police called? Nope.
Why would I do that? Why would I cry? Why would a tantrum over what? What would I be over? A tantrum is when you don't get something you want and you throw.
Is a tantrum is what? When you don't get something that you want? Well, she wants you to leave and you don't want to leave. That's when you're getting like something that's not happening and going the way that you want.
Why would a tantrum over what? What would I be over? A tantrum is when you don't get something you want and you throw a tantrum. That was not what I was doing. I was scared shitless that night. I was having flashbacks from the night that, I went to jail with Lindsay over. I was having.
Oh my God. Yes. And you keep on fucking just saying that. I need all these women to feel bad for me. So they keep sending me money. I was in fear of her, like, because what Lindsay did to me.
Serious flashbacks over that because I remember just wanting to leave Lindsay's apartment, and that's all I wanted to do. And I wanted to leave Meredith's apartment, and I couldn't leave because I had no shoe and I had no key fob, and she stole them both. And it just to be told, like, yo, you lost them. How the fuck do you lose a shoe? It was in a cabinet. I didn't put it there. Okay. And the key fob, I didn't lose my key fob. She also stole my watch and lied about it for 6 months. If she's willing to lie about that, what else isn't she lying about?
Where was your key? How did you find your key?
So much, man. It's just so much. So I got a lot of work to do, and figuring out how to like keep this concise, 5 pages, like got a lot of work to do today. So anyway, I'll refresh this. So I'll do a few more turtle chats if you want to get them in. Then I gotta get to work.
Go ahead, get them in.
His lack of understanding of the internet is unfortunately swaying him to feel bad for her and her false allegations. I don't think the full truth was getting out there for him to hear. Hopefully the closings and entered into evidence exhibits will paint the truth. Exactly. I mean, that's what we have to hope for. That's what we have to hope for. So we need to nail this closing, nail it. Felicia sends $10 and goes, her severance agreement would have 100%
okay, you know what?
require her.
I am going to publicly write and type up a closing for Meredith, and all of you guys can watch. Okay. Because she needs it. 8th grade team, man. So we're going to write up a Meredith's closing for her. And then send it anonymously from Truth and Transparency.
To sign a release.
We're going to do it live here on
not
the channel.
To sue. Yeah. Yeah. And I agree.
Covered in blood. Yeah.
I mean, she says she has a severance agreement. Who gets a severance when they're fired? But she says she got one. But she also alluded that she might sue. I don't know. Again, why wouldn't she offer documentation of that? But next, Tara sends $10. Goes.
It actually makes sense because she couldn't ask them then to testify to anything. Okay. Because if she's suing them and she's handling whatever she's handling with them, they all shut down communications if it's legal, and they're not going to be coming into court and testifying to anything. So that makes sense to me. Have you ever had to work for corporate America?
Sorry, I have to go through this. My heart hurt for you yesterday, but in your writing today, channel your inner Afro man. I like that. Use examples of other media personalities, bigger and smaller, that have done similar work. You got this. Good for you. Well, thank you so much, Tara. Thank you. Okay. Let me see if we have any, you got this. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I think some of these came in last night. Someone's telling me to check out this. He said, good luck today.
Listen to this.
Someone's telling me to check out this.
Somebody's telling me to check out this. To check out the fact that I've already put out Meredith's, or that I put out his report. Look at these fucking idiots. Watch this shit. Somebody's telling me to check this out.
I don't know. Where's the, I don't see it.
He's checking for my videos.
I don't know which video they're talking about.
There you go. The video that they're being lied about. That Lana put out his report and was reading his report online. You can't find it? Because it's not there. Because it never happened. Who the fuck does a live and watches chat and then whatever people write in chat like it's the gospel, man? This man. This is how he does his reporting. Go ahead. What are you looking for? What can I help you find? Hold on. He's looking at my YouTube channel right now. I'm alive.
All right. Anyway, what's this? Anyway, let me see. I think I have one more. What's this? I don't even know what's happening right now. Hold on. My cash out. I did another cash out here. Cal sends $20 last night or this morning. It says, truth is on your side. Love you. Thank you so much, Cal. You're very sweet.
Yeah, Cal.
Lakota sent us $30 last night and said, keep your head up. We always believe in you. Thank you so much.
Keep your head up,
son. Really appreciate the kind words, guys. Really do. Really do. See if there's any more turtle chats.
He's continuing to look at my channel to try to find it. That's what's happening right now. And he's like,
all right, cool.
I can't find it. I can't find it. I'm trying.
Check my X messages after the live. I will.
Yeah.
I will. So anyway, I got to go get started with my day, guys. I got a shitload of work through, but
Yeah, because I had a live start at 9:30 where I was going to read his report. Just so we're clear, what does it say up here? Turtleboy's expert report proves he was State Street Mayor. That's the title of my live. Turtleboy's expert report proves he was State Street Mayor. Lena, why are you saying that? Because I watched a hearing yesterday and Meredith said your own client, go read or go listen to what Meredith said when Bradel was asking her about the koalas. And then when it was just accepted into evidence, everything was accepted into evidence. And this man, as I knew he would talk about it, it got into evidence. The report did. And the report, his own expert, the findings is that he is State Street Mayor. And I said, holy shit, the judge is going to know this by an expert, forensic expert. And he paid money for this and put that shit in. I said, stop. Wild. So that's the truth. So my live was set for last night at 9:30. Then I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tired. And I have a feeling that Turtleboy is just going to run his mouth. I think I'm going to start my live at 9:30 tomorrow. And what does he provide us with? The name of the company for his forensic shit that's supposed to be impounded. Go on there and look and find out all about, what they do. Okay. Letteros by Betteros, whatever the fuck that name is. That person used to have a membership to my channel. And then when they realized that, oh, Lana's going to be like fair and honest and wow, and stuff just doesn't comport with what the fuck's up. That's when that person had a problem with me because I wasn't going to suck off Turtleboy. No, nobody was covering his criminal case. I was like, I'll cover it. Like, hello. I planned on it because I was covering the Karen Reed case since before trial 1 ever happened. I followed all of the motions before trial 1. Check my channel out. It's all there on my channel. And my theories on the case have always remained the same and now look more promising than ever. And you guys can keep on looking for that Ford Edge, but go ahead. I still think, I think that Meredith with an 8th grade lawyer could have potentially still got the W because of State Street Mayor. That's my take. So now let's go ahead and let's get a Word document up here. Carry on our way. First thing I would do is I'd put this in regardless, but I would put a motion in for leave of court to submit more than 5 pages, but less than 10. That's the first motion I'd put in, and I'd put it in today if I was this attorney. So I would file a motion for leave of court, and I would ask to submit more than 5 pages, but less than 10 from the courts. See what they say back. I believe that this would be granted. Okay. So we're going to do 2 versions, which would be one if it was 5 and one if it was 10. And here's outline form of how I would do it. Outline form. Number 1. Reference the above. Caption case with emphasis on Meredith O'Neill filing for a restraining order on blank date, and then Aiden Carney filing for the same on or about blank date and calling it a tactic. Okay. Oh, hold on, let me share my screen with you guys. Okay. Is it sharing it? Okay, good. Oh. Now we're going to do where is it? Okay. Next main point, but I want to space that out. Okay. That would be the chronological order of events is the best evidence in this case. July 10th. Very important date. That's the breakup date. Okay. That the defendant himself testifies to. Okay. Why is this important? Because we're going to show chronological order of events, which is defendant's affidavit states two different times as to when fear took over. See defendant's affidavit paragraph 2 and 6. Both cannot be true. All right. All right. So number one is reference the above caption case with emphasis on Meredith O'Neill filing for a restraining order on blank date, and then Aiden Carney filing for the same on or about on this date and calling it a tactic. See plaintiff exhibit blank, the thumb drive. Chronological order of events is the best evidence in this case. I would say that both the defendant and the plaintiff, their chronological order, okay, is pretty similar, but the version of it is obviously different. But all that matters is if he's thinking one thing, which is, oh my God, white knuckle driving, and then gets into a vehicle with her how many times after that, right? Or like I said, Karen Reed and the threesome, and that she's holding this over your head, but yet then you're going to call her up and give her ammunition when you guys are broken up to the fact that he illegally recorded Karen Reed. That whole vehicle situation happened in March of 2025. How many times was he in a vehicle while she was driving after that? Fucking owning this shit. Okay. He says it's going to take him all day. So. All right. Where are we at here? Defendant's expert report. The defendant's expert report was admitted into evidence and is the best evidence that properly outlines the owner of the State Street Mayor Twitter account, which was the defendant's account, which the expert correctly identified within his/her report as the defendant's account. The account was open on the posts that were made by defendant's IP addresses from blank to blank date can be located on Panda's thumb drive. Or you can actually say a couple of the, I would use one of the examples. Well, a little hark, if we didn't have an 8th grade lawyer, we would have found that out. You would have talked about how many times he was off the air due to his violations of TSO. Okay, like this lawyer did not know what they were doing. He does not know how to fucking show. He doesn't know how to litigate. This guy is not a litigator. So, Elwood says he tried to cover the Adelsons for an hour and said it was too confusing. You know, speaking of the Adelsons, somebody wrote in my chat yesterday and I was dying. Somebody said that Aiden Carney sounded like Charlie Adelson testifying. Testifying. And I'm like, oh my God. It made me chuckle. Unbelievable. I thought it was insane. It's insanely true. Chronological. Okay. So Oh yeah, sure would have. Here. There you go. Okay, see plaintiff exhibit. There we go. Now, did anybody watch Melanie Little talk about this case? I think I may just have to cover her covering the case because I think I may have to cover her covering the case because I just gotta understand people's logic and reasoning skills. DB says, I watched her for a little bit. She was a little bit shocked at certain parts, but she ties her face in knots.
You made me choke.
You just made Bella choke with that one. Wait, you want to know what I'm blown away about? She's like, well, Meredith's over here just testifying to, crimes on the stand. It's like, if you got to give one credit to the 8th grade lawyer, he said, Your Honor, she didn't testify that he didn't know about it. She testified to recording him, but not that he didn't know. So, and he was on that like that. And he did it one other time that I know of. And that's it. Okay, because this was there may have been 3 times, but he just didn't know the case. But he didn't know how to even if he did know the case, how do you present the case? You get what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna to think that you didn't have to prep for this at all was mind blowing. If you think you're gonna go into a courtroom and have a hearing and calling witnesses. I'm being fair to him. I do know from experience about how difficult these cases are. This stuff is, and to explain it to a lawyer and to explain it to a court. That's why you're better off with you. You're better off doing it yourself, but having a lawyer there to make sure that you don't get fucked. Like, you're gonna make these objections, but here he didn't even know how to object. You know, I don't know. I just, you know your case. You know what has happened to you. Okay, you know the order that it has happened to you. So, best female laugh on YouTube. Thanks, appreciate that. Just give the award on over here, okay? Oh my God, Lana, are you writing this closing now? Yes, I have. I've been writing this closing over here, and I'm gonna make it pop like a fucking pussy on a handstand, okay? Now let me show you, and I'm showing it to the world. Okay, and I'm going to send it to Mr. Doherty and say, Mr. Doherty, thank you for your efforts. Okay, and I know that Incarnate is going to make content out of. Now, this is the thing that I'd be interested in. He says he wants this to end. If he wants this to end, then he will never reference that hearing ever again. If he wants it to end, that means no content would be made from that because I'm moving away from that. Moving on from it. I would like to interview him. I would like to ask him when last time he was in a courtroom litigating. I'm curious. I'm going to ask him if he's hiring. Because all he needs, he just might need a little brush up, He just got a little flustered. He was saying it. He's like, I just got a little flustered. But it was just a damn free fall in there. Like I did with him, he's irrelevant now. Oh, there you go. I love J Bro. A real man works. A real man faces another man and says, "What's up? What's the problem here?" Brandy's man, J Brill, those are real men. Turtleboy made a fake account, named it State Street Mayor, and wrote for months upon months upon months attacking. And now ask yourself about that whole Lindsay Gattani shit and who really was Jane and how Jane was really going on and what was really happening. Oh, and we're going to have drinks and beers, Jabril, because you need to put in for your time off when the criminal case is going down. Because none of those people have said a word for his criminal case online or anything. And there is just, that'll be interesting how he tries to wiggle out of that. There's no way the judge will not grant her an RO against him. Well, the judge made an interesting comment at the end, and he said, regardless of my decision, I don't know if it's going to help. Okay, so think about that. Think about that. His decision, I don't know if it's going to help. I don't think I would be saying that if I wasn't going to be doing something. Okay. And so, in my opinion, either they're both getting one or she's just getting it. Like, meaning he will be receiving a restraining order protecting Meredith. That's how I took it. Because I don't think he makes that comment about him not doing anything. I don't know how it's going to help. You get it? Like, doing nothing, if you're not going to be doing anything, it's like that statement is not said if you're planning on doing nothing. I don't know how that's going to help. So what he does, you just don't make that statement. It's an oxy. Basically what I see is, hey, Meredith, I'm probably going to grant you this, but I don't know if it's going to help you. That's how it looks to me. Going back to my outline form closing. Comes now. Okay. Comes now. Just want to say comes now. Comes now and lasts 2 minutes. Oh boy, what happened there? Explain the statute of 209A. Oh, here, let me grab something in my sheet. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. Plaintiff Okay. Plaintiff was in a very serious relationship with Mr. Carney beginning February 2024 through and until July 2025. This is a fact that is admitted by both parties. This is a fact that was plaintiff came to the courts due to Mr. Carney's consistent behavior, which is legally best defined as threatening and harassing in nature. Mr. Carney has described how easy it is to weaponize his own blog and YouTube channel as a means to effectively isolate, control, and coerce for the purpose of compelling compliance. Hmm. There you go. I am Turtleboy. By Aiden Carney. Let's just have some fun with it. Good morning. Oh, are they live with that hearing? What the fuck? There you go. Okay. Okay. So again, my closing would be kicking it off with a bang, which is describing how the plaintiff and the defendant both filed for an RO, but emphasis on the plaintiff filed her RO on this date. Okay. And then defendant Aiden Carney filed for the same on or about blank date. The defendant admitted on the stand and numerous times on his public YouTube channel, it was a tactic as to why he filed a restraining order with this court. There. Plaintiff was in a very serious relationship with Mr. Carney. You put the defendant. Beginning February 24th through and until July 2025. This is a fact that was admitted by both parties during the hearing. Plaintiff came to the court due to Mr. Carney's consistent behavior, which is legally best defined as threatening and harassing in nature. Okay. Okay. Plaintiff was in a very serious relationship. Great. This is a fact that was admitted by both parties during their hearing. Plaintiff came to the court due to Mr. Carney's consistent behavior after their breakup, which, Your Honor, is best defined as legally threatening and harassing nature. Plaintiff outlined the circumstances during their relationship in her affidavit for the sole purpose Mm. First, plaintiff would like to draw attention Okay. First, plaintiff would like to draw attention to the chronological order of events that transpired after the relationship was terminated. To the relevant of the events that transpired after the relationship was terminated. Plaintiff believes this to be the best evidence when considering the actions or lack thereof by the parties. Mm. Okay. Okay, first, plaintiff would like to draw attention to the relevant chronological order of events that transpired after the relationship was terminated. Plaintiff believes this to be the best evidence when considering why plaintiff sought the help of the courts and why defendant only did so once the plaintiff sought out a restraining order. Okay. Next, the order of events. Next, these order of events must okay. And that's where I'm going to end it. That's where I'm going to end it, unless you guys are enjoying this. Hence, truth and transparency. Lana works very hard on her work. I do. After their breakup. First, plaintiff would like to draw attention to the relevant chronological order of events that transpired after the relationship was terminated. Plaintiff believes this to be the best evidence when considering why plaintiff sought the help of the courts and why defendant only did so after. You know what? Insert table. Date. In action. An exhibit. Okay. I want to make it bigger than that. I don't want a fucking calendar in that shit. I want a goddamn. I want it to be 3 columns. And I want it to be wait. And I want it to be 20 rows. Bitch, come get some. Timeline queen here. Full of fact. Uh-oh. I enjoy it. A read through or a post. The only thing that would make this better is watching Lana do shit. Of course we're enjoying this. Well, I can also put the audio on from the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case too. It's just this is just how I would go about it. Like if I was like, fuck. So I want to show you what Turtleboy is claiming that he has to do today, which is fucking so difficult. He's got to figure out a way to be truthful. Okay. I prefer my Microsoft Word tutorials from middle-aged angry. How would I go about destroying lies? Okay. So here you would just put July 10th, 2025. The breakup. The mutual breakup. Now, when did, this is a very important question. You can just put, they just stipulate. They did. They just stipulated to this shit. Yeah. The mutual breakup. Now, this is the important part. Since we didn't get a date here, when was the I'm going to tell Karen Reed about this threesome? I need the date for that. Okay. What's the date that Aiden Carney claims? Okay, that when did Karen when was Meredith saying, I'm gonna tell the Reeds, I'm gonna tell Karen how you were having these threesome fantasies. There is no proof he was behind that account. Is there? Yes, it already came out. It's in a report. It's been submitted, and Aiden knows it. Go just ask the motherfucker. Yes, he knows. He's wild. He's wild. He's wild. So much is protected by the First Amendment. First Amendment. This has nothing to do with First Amendment because the 209A, you guys need to read what that law is about. That law is about if you couldn't link him to the State Street Mayor account, the creation of that account. So anyways, I'll go back over here and mm, 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 mm. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Defendant contacts. Contacts. Contact has been made. There's a contact right there. Contact. Defendant contacts plaintiff. Mm. Is it like that, the Wilbur? Who knows? I don't know. I didn't go to the Wilbur show, but not sure if that's relevant even. You know what? We're gonna have to put that one here. We have another one to put here. Yes. Okay. What the fuck? The sound I meant to do? Cancel that. This is all that matters. Defendant contacts plaintiff versus. Mm. Uh, um, oops. All right, we have to know when was the threat to play? What was it? When did Meredith allegedly start threatened to tell the Reeds or Karen that Aiden was fantasizing about having a threesome? Does anybody know that date? So he says he has a forensic report. No mention of that, though. The forensic report outed the fact that he was State Street mayor. I hope Meredith gets in. Ming says around September 12th is that he what about September 12th? Anyways, I'm just gonna put down the events, and so as you can see, that's where this is headed. So this timeline is everything when you want to talk about why this all started. None of the other shit is relevant. Okay, this is the only relevant timeline. Because neither party did anything. And so when was State Street Mayor created?
In her apartment at Joey Jojo in August of 2024.
Okay, so there we go. August of 2024.
But that was the Joey Jojo.
Yeah, August of 2024. Joey Jojo. Created. This Twitter account would get rehomed and named State Street Mayor
In like early
in early
like 2026 or January or December 2025 or January 2026.
in December/January 2025. So December 2025.
I mean, we'll always take it over, right?
Yeah, hold on one second. Okay. Was Aiden present when it was created?
Yeah, he created it.
Okay, so
And Joey Jojo, he created it. Don't quote me on this, but it could have been Meredith, like account she wasn't using at all.
yeah,
He needed a burner.
Aiden needed a burner account.
Joey Jojo 1376925.
What was it? 13 what? Joey Joe
Jojo 137
137
69
6925. Okay. Yeah. Twitter account created. This Twitter account would get rehomed. I'll just say renamed State Street Mayor by Aiden Carney on December or in December. Okay. When did Meredith supposedly claim that she was going to tell Karen Reed about that she was a threesome fantasy? What date?
It must be the date when she said, because that is from the same chick that sent her fake tits, that when she got her new tits, sent them to Aiden, right? So it's that chick that Aiden's talking to about doing the threesome with Karen. So it must be when she is confronting Aiden about,
When she found out, like, hey, I know that you're sending those.
yeah, while you're laying in bed with me.
Yeah, you're talking about you want to come on her tits.
Yeah.
So
what if Karen's family found out about this? What if Karen and her family found out about this, right?
mhm.
So it has to be around that time.
What if Karen and her family found out about this? Which was that would have been in 2020, March 2024, because that's why she was crying. I mean, March 2025, not 2024. She was crying at the bar. Remember that picture that was taken at the bar?
Yeah.
So it's because she found out that he was cheating on her, but she found out a little bit earlier. It was all because of the extraction, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, let me go. Hold on, I'm pulling up my timeline. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, this is even way better than I thought. The big deal is here is it just really pops on the head of Aiden is you would never supply Meredith with information that, oh my God, I recorded Karen. Okay. If he's over here in fear that Meredith already has ammunition to tell Karen about this threesome. Hey, let me just go and tell Meredith how I illegally recorded Karen Reed. Once the courts put in chronological order, okay, how this truly played out, because 8th grade lawyer did not lay this foundation, okay? When you lay it out like I am, you cannot miss it. You can again, Aiden getting back into a vehicle when Meredith is driving, but he's terrified of that because she drove 100 and tried to kill them, okay, in March of 2025. But yet we have proof that you got back into her vehicle after that and was letting her drive you around like she's your Uber driver, okay? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then so it all holds true here that the question that the courts need to ask themselves is why would Aiden Carney tell Meredith on August 30th, hey, Karen Reed just called me and she's accusing me of recording her. And this is like right after our conversation. Why are you calling Meredith to tell her that? And then why would you be supplying Meredith and saying that, oh, I sent it to like a bunch of people, like I don't even know who I sent it to, but somebody, you know, if somebody betrays Aiden, what he does is he goes at them with everything that they have, and he wants to find out who fucking did it, who fucking betrayed me, who did this, who did that. That's his MO. And it's in the Ryan Waters case. Ryan Waters ended up with this, with the mod chat where he's framing Ryan Waters on Facebook, and he wants who gave this to Ryan Waters. And it was that Christy Yamaguchi girl. At that point, Aiden then's like, okay, watch me, hold my beer. Goes to Hadassah, who he wrote fucking 10, 15, 20 articles about. Okay. Got her all this shit taken away, all the stuff that she had going on in her life. And tells Hadassah that, oh, here, I can testify for you because Christy Yamaguchi illegally recorded you and gave it to me. Okay. So if he thought for a second that one of his friends betrayed him, he never sent this to anywhere. It was always a setup from jump to get Meredith, because he needed to swing and leverage out Meredith because she had it all. Okay, I got to get Meredith on something. I'm going to have to create something to be able to get Meredith on something, because right now I'm freaking out because of all the ways that she can burn me, because I think that she's going to testify for the state in my criminal case. All the stuff that we did together, all the stuff that she knows that I've done, what the fuck ever is going on in his fucking pea brain, okay? It's this size, okay? And I come out with fucking bombarding facts and prove by the preponderance of the evidence that this man, Aiden Carney, recorded it himself and then sent the Proton email to Karen and her attorneys, because it was his way of saying, like, to them without saying it, how many of these do you think exist? Of our conversations do you think exist? You all are gonna do this documentary with me. He wrote it.
No.
Oh,
the people that are against them.
Innocence fraud. Oh my God. Meredith O'Neill sets record straight on psychopath and domestic abuser Aiden Carney. Aiden Turtleboy Carney on March 4th and 5th, 2025. And Keystone Instant, including Joe Flipperhead, aka Nick Miller, Will Lang, aka The Glare, Jessica Machado, Jimmy, aka Auntie Deb, and Ray from Dallas. And this was produced on November 27th, 2025. And then this is why he then came out on November 27th and 28th and was like, I have to tell my truth journey. C.F. McCarthy's pub on March 4th, Mark Mazza, Will Lang, Aiden, Nan, Meredith, and Lauren Murray went to C.F. McCarthy's in Canton. After leaving the pub, Aiden Carney harassed Chris Albert through the window of his pizza restaurant, as the following clip evidences. Hillside Pub. After harassing Chris Albert via his security camera, the group went to the Hillside Pub in Canton, where Meredith O'Neill was photographed, likely by Mark Mazza, crying and being consoled by Lauren Murray. It has been alleged that after Aiden Carney left the Hillside without Meredith O'Neill, she was said to have propositioned a table of men, offering to buy them shots to make her boyfriend jealous. What the fuck is this? Ready for some pictures? Uncle Trolley always bringing the receipts. Trollia. Breaking up. What started out as a fun night at C.F. McCarthy's rapidly devolved at the Hillside where Meredith O'Neill was seen sobbing on the shoulder of none other than notorious ex Lauren Murray, while an annoyed Dr. Turtleboy sat on the other side of the bar, unwilling to console her. Okay, this is the March. This is what I was saying, though. What did he have the next day? Didn't he have court too? What a bunch of fucking idiots. Oh, shit. March 5th, 2025, sometime after midnight, in and outside of Meredith O'Neill's Boston apartment, sociopath Aiden Carney, oh my God, at 2:48 a.m., at around 2:48 a.m., Meredith O'Neill posted an image of Fleetwood Mac rumors to X, see here, along with the filtered image of a woman seen here, and the smallest man who ever lived, see here. What the fuck is this? Motion to dismiss hearing. Aiden Carney appeared in court a few hours later for a motion to dismiss hearing. See clip below. He drove Meredith O'Neill's car from Boston to Dedham. Oh my God, he's such a fucking liar. He said he found his key fob at what, 11:20. I'm taking your car, bitch. He drove Meredith O'Neill's car from Boston to Dedham, dropped her back home afterwards, and then again drove her car to Holden in order to pick up the spare key to his car. I thought he said he found the key at 11:24 a.m. the next day. Is that a lie? Oh my God. Here's the clip of Cosgrove. What a train wreck. I told you guys, these are the keys to win. Go home, go to bed early, drink lots of water. Okay. 5:48 p.m. Later that day, Aiden Carney posted the following to X.
Read that, please.
So I have a situation. I'm in Boston and can't find the key to my car. My replacement is at my house in Holden, an hour away. I am borrowing a car, driving to Holden to get the key, then driving back to Boston to get my car, then driving back to Holden. It's my only option because I have to be there in the morning to get the key, to get the kids on the bus. Logistically, there is no way I'd be able to get back in time to do the show tonight unless it was really late. So I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow night or do it late tonight. I'll make a decision soon. I remember that. And I'm just like, who writes all of that? You just say, who writes all of that? I don't need a reason to do anything. I'll do whatever the fuck I want whenever I want. Okay, but that was his way of documenting his lies, guys. And then he just couldn't keep his lies straight because he most certainly said under oath that he got his key back the next morning at 11:24 a.m. And I'm like, what time was court? 9:22 p.m. Aiden Carney made the following post on X. Update, back in Holden, leaving now in Boston. Definitely not going to make it in time. Aiden Carney went on to make up a story about what happened while he was at Meredith O'Neill's apartment, falsely claiming that she had hidden one of his shoes, pictured below, along with his car key fob. The following is the fabricated story he sent to Joe Flipperhead. Me finding the shoe the next day at 11:24 a.m. Aiden Carney that's why he has to stick to this 11:24 story, but that lie got him fucked here. What an idiot. Joe Flipperhead. What a name. What a name, Joe Flipperhead. Fucking morons. All these people are morons. I'm going to send you a video in the interest of transparency that I don't want getting out. There from March 4th, the night of the window intimidation incident, she got shit-faced and cried at the bar. On the way home, she berated me, told me I am an ugly midget with wrinkles, and I told her I was sleeping on the couch. I woke up 2 hours later with her on top of me, demanding we have sex.
Ugly midget with wrinkles. I'm sleeping.
Yeah. You're an ugly midget. You have wrinkles, but I'm getting on top of you and I want to fuck you, ride you, daddy. Okay. I tried leaving only to find that my shoe and key was gone. Still haven't gotten the key back, but I was literally stuck there and could not leave. One shoe, no access to car. It was hell. Let me tell you what will happen here. Let me tell you what would happen here. If you were to get in your car, okay, and drive, and let's say that your key was, where was your key originally? Like, was your car running? Then you got out. How did you leave the bar without your key? Where is your key? To this day, do we even know where that key is?
Who because she drove his car.
White knuckled, yes, and that he thought he was going to die. While she's saying she's going 100, Judge, and she's telling me I'm a midget and I have wrinkles. One shoe, no access to car. It was hell. And she told me that if I left, she was going to tell the police I hit her.
That's not what she said on the video.
This is the delusions of Turtleboy. But he has to have all these fucking stories because he's working so many angles with people because of how he originally tried to set up Meredith. All he does is set up Meredith. Yeah, pin it on the girl, right, Alan Jackson? Pin it on the girl. The video clips evidence that fact that Aiden Carney was not literally stuck at Meredith O'Neill's Boston apartment and that he could not leave like he alleged to Nick Miller. He'd been kicked out but refused to leave. Oh my God. You don't got to send me the video, bro. I believe you. Relationships are fucking messy. November 3rd, 2025. Meredith O'Neill sets record straight. Below is what Meredith O'Neill posted on X on November 26, 2025 about March 4th and March 5th, 2025. All right. I'm honestly relieved that it is finally coming out so we can finally put an end to the fairy tale conspiracies about March 4th, courtesy of Joe Flipperhead and the Ratchet. Aram, what the fuck? Since Aiden and his Dollar Tree sidekick, Chelsea, want to drag March 4th into the public arena, let's do it properly. With facts, not the fairy tale he's been feeding everyone. The rumors flying around are completely untrue, and I've wanted to defend myself for weeks, but Aiden has spent the last month threatening me, telling me that if the truth ever came out, he'd turn me into the next Lindsay. This is the stuff that needed to come out in the hearing, and how the fuck 8th grade lawyer doesn't get that is beyond me, okay? The threats. What is he threatening you with? Well, first of all, let's start with what does he threaten everybody with? Well, that he'll write about you. He'll blog about you. But Aiden has spent the last month threatening me, telling me that if the truth ever came out, that he'd turn me into the next Lindsay, that everyone would believe him because he has a platform, and even declaring he'd tell his followers to contact my work. Well, here we are. Since he chose to drag this into the public and sick his ratchet brigade on me, I'm finally telling the actual story. That night wasn't some dramatic Meredith tried to send me to jail moment. It was a drunk, disgusting fight between two adults, the kind Aiden has on rotation with every woman he dates. Both of us were very intoxicated, but he was blackout drunk, verbally abusive, and filming me against my will. I told him to stop. He didn't. I found out about him sexting another girl and had bottled up emotions for months, which is what started the argument. I asked him to leave after he said horrible things to me, including calling me fat and useless, that people only like me because I'm Turtleboy's girlfriend. I asked him to leave, and he began recording me, pointing a phone in my face while I repeatedly told him to leave. He lost his own key, and because he couldn't remember anything, he made up a story that I stole it. Imagine spreading this fantasy when I have him on video of me asking him to return my keys. I was uncomfortable, overwhelmed, and didn't want a drunken fight being filmed. He took our feud out into the common area of my building, disturbing other tenants. So yes, I said, you hit me, specifically because I believed he wouldn't share the video. Like, that's what you do. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to say all this stuff so that you won't one day share that video.
And her story has never changed.
I said it so he would stop recording me. And he has a full video that I clearly say, I'm only saying that so you'll stop recording me. Use your real name if you think you bad. Hey, my link's available for anybody that ever wants to show their face and say their piece. Otherwise, we don't put up with it. First Amendment, I believe in. trolling. That's not the same. Own your shit, fool. Own it. We just found out for the first time that he can't, right? State Street Mayor is Aiden Carney. Woohoo! Lana! You said it. I said it. I said, oh, bring that fucking expert up into that bitch, because wait till State Street Mayor is outed as him. He is fucked. And he thought it was a great thing. I'm like, this guy's an idiot. And now we should all know why the judge saw through it and did the 180 and was like, wait. Tim Bradle tried to peddle the fact that he wasn't State Street Mayor. Y'all are aware of that, right? Watch the hearing. The judge is like, the report. We discussed this fact many times the next day and several occasions in the last few months. That context has been deliberately cut out to push a fake narrative, but don't worry, I'll be posting the full videos that I took of that night. When he's threatened me with releasing this very video, he admitted it would be edited out and no one would believe me over him. These are all the exhibits that the judge admitted, and they're back in his chambers and he's going through. Do you understand what judges deal with every day? They have to determine who's credible and who's not. There's always these two fucking sides of the story and they're so far different. Okay. And the man is State Street Mayor. The man's affidavit says that he never talked about anything, didn't do shit to this woman. That's a fucking lie. It's a bold-faced lie when you are State Street Mayor. He's such a pussy, he couldn't even fucking do it with his own name. But you want to know why he couldn't do it with his own name? You want to know why he couldn't fucking blog about her? Because he's out on fucking bail, you fucks. Learn about it. He has no way to twist. None. He has no way to twist his case unless he's going to throw Karen Reed under the bus come November. That's a fact. So if he wants to get up on the stand and say that Karen Reed and her attorneys gave me all of this shit, okay, I was paid, or this is how I got paid. They said I could collect all this merch. I could do this. I could do that, blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, and he could pray that the courts are just like, okay, well, you still did it. You know what I mean? You still did it. And you knew that what you were doing was illegal. Like it was violating. It was against the law. Okay. You're not going up against an 8th grade attorney. And all that this hearing did for someone like Cosgrove is show you again, this man's playbook. He will lie about everything. And every lie you have to anticipate, whatever you ask him, he is going to lie. And you have to show the lie. And all you have to do is show 5 of them. Hit the intent. And then slap him, because this is the best part about it. We never get to see people ever get brought up on perjury. This actually may be a case because the government is not going to allow Turtleboy to commit perjury. Also, everything that he has said at any point in time in any of these prior hearings where he's lied, that's character that's coming in. Cosgrove is going to get the okay to play and show statements of Aiden Carney under oath lying in other proceedings. First of all, it's prior, I mean, that's, he has a pattern. It all is going to come down to Aiden Carney's, his character matters with his witness intimidation, his pattern, his POL, pattern of life, his history. Aiden Carney was not framed for anything, ever, not once. Aiden Carney saw an opportunity to make a ton of money. You understand that? It wasn't just good enough like, hey, I'm going to break the story that he thinks he's breaking. Hey, I have Karen Reed as my fucking source, okay? Hey, let me just get this out here. Hey, let me do everything above board. That's not Turtleboy. He's not above board. How Turtleboy operates is how he operated since he's been doing this how many years prior to Karen Reed. He's not going to change how he operates. And it's all about the way that it's my show. It's the Turtleboy show. And I'm going to do things the way that I want to do things, right? Because I'm going to maximize my money. It's a lie to sit here and say that nobody was talking about this case before him. That's an absolute lie. 1000% lie. What Turtleboy did was take witness information that was given to him by Karen Reed and her attorneys, as well as the FBI material, okay, and put it out. And then went after and made a spectacle of a Boston police officer's murder case by not attacking the fact that the evidence and the cops, you know, did what they did. But we're going to attack all of these other witnesses. And then who Karen Reed deemed as, no, they should have been suspects. Well, guess what, Karen? As much as we support you, that's great that you think that, okay? But you are with some of the world's best attorneys, and they know, okay? They know what you can and cannot do when people are witnesses and who your team has already labeled witnesses, and you're going after their cell phone data. Those motions were filed before Aiden Carney did anything. And when those motions were getting denied, okay, is when Aiden Carney is leaked the federal investigation material. Aiden Carney then writes about it. And then Karen Reed's team uses Aiden Carney's blog to say that that's how they found out about the FBI. That is professional misconduct. Like, times 1,000. Aiden Carney is going to try to claim that he fought for this woman who was innocent. He's going to get on that stand and he's going to say all of these things, just like he did yesterday. He is going to try to justify violating the Massachusetts state statutes for witness intimidation, you know, everything that he's being charged for. I think it was very telling when he said that yesterday wasn't fun for him. Yesterday wasn't fun for him. You want to know why it wasn't fun for him? Because that judge saw through him. That's why it wasn't fun for him. That judge saw what a arrogant, narcissistic, lying piece of shit he was. And now what the judge has to see is go through everything and see if Meredith meets the statute of 209A. Okay. That it is not lost on that judge. Okay. Who Aiden Carney is. He has peddled and he has lied to everybody in this community that supports Karen Reed. And Karen Reed can be innocent, like I believe that she is. And he can be guilty at the same time, just like I believe that he is. This is a man that, because I am reporting on his criminal case, will come for me. You don't think I knew that when I first started covering his criminal case? That's why nobody talks out. Because it's not worth it. His case isn't worth it to anybody. It's not worth it. He isn't worth it. Let that sink in. He isn't worth it. And I love it. I love it. I love it. He does not have the true crime channels or the YouTube lawyers talking about his criminal case because he isn't worth it. But what's sad is that the people that have chosen to be lawyers and now do it on YouTube, welcome to YouTube, because you guys will get trolled the fuck out of. And how this man tried to go into a courtroom with lawyers and pay a ton of money to manipulate and fabricate evidence and lie under oath, that's what you're supposed to be reporting on. And y'all are too pussy to do it. And I fucking love it. I love it. Because none of you guys have my respect. Not with this. People that have paraded him on their channels and that now have like not refuses to talk about any of this stuff. Talk about it. Come out and look at the facts. Put your shit out there like you normally do and say, did the man do this? Did the man do that? Like, what the fuck's up? Why won't they talk about it? Because they would have to take a position against this man. And they don't want to do that publicly. And that's called fear. As well as Positis. As well as fucking like who says way more about you than he'll ever say about me. Or come out here and say that he's innocent of it all. And lie for him. But if you actually look at the timeline and the facts, nobody could ever come out here publicly and say that Alan Jackson, Yannetti, and Aiden Carney did not conspire to commit well, first of all, he helped them facilitate professional misconduct. Aiden did. Because once Aiden wrote the blog and then saw that in a motion that he then read out on loud on his channel and saw that his blog was actually cited as the source of how the federal investigation was learned upon by the defense, and Aiden Carney possessed the knowledge to know that that's not it at all. Y'all told me about it. Let all that shit sink in. Lana, this is Jen Altman. Aiden told me he was a State Street Mayor account in a phone call on 1/24/2026. Well, that's important. Josie's on a vacation. Hi, Mercs. Yes, 2026. I wrote an affidavit for Meredith. Oh, wow. Was that submitted today or yesterday? Because everything that was put on those thumb drives as evidence and that were just admitted. Well, the best part about it is that affidavit then, Jen Altman, would then show true based on the expert, because the expert already determined that Aiden Carney was State Street Mayor. So your affidavit just only gets bolstered. Same thing with Jason Broyles. He put an affidavit in. His affidavit, I think, once that gets unimpounded on Impound Town. I mean, how he lied and said that Jason Broyles extorted him. I mean, if I'm Jason Broyles, right now, I go and I sue him for defamation. He said that under oath. This isn't some fucking YouTube shit. He fucking got up there on the stand and said that Jason Broyles extorted him. And there is overwhelming evidence that it was the exact opposite way. like overwhelming evidence. And here, Timothy Bradel allowed Aiden Carney to testify to known falsehoods. That's a violation of your professional codes. You cannot ask questions, just like you guys want to go ham about the Nick McClellan and asking questions and then knowing that Brad Weber's going to get up there and lie about it. That's a professional, that's misconduct. It's disgusting. Tim Bradel knows that Meredith does not blow coke. And what he tried to do in that courtroom should just show you how dirty, scummy, skeezy that man is and what he has done to Aiden, or for Aiden rather, knowing that Aiden and only Aiden has gotten himself into every single fucking fuck jam. Like Aiden just literally pulls down his pants and runs around and helicopters his dick. And it just gets fucking sawed off everywhere it goes. Okay. I love nothing more than a guy that helicopters his dick and gets fucking obliterated. Love it. Go keep helicoptering that shit around. All right. And then he has to lie and say that he has he cut himself on the lip shaving. No, motherfucker. That's called fucking herpes. And it's for fucking ever, okay? And no one's shaming you. It's called owning it. They point out stuff when you lie. I cut my lip shaving. No. Just own it, right? There's no shame here. You want to put your dick in fucking the mashed potatoes and fucking peanut butter? Own it. Give a shit. The only person that can't keep people's names out of their mouths is Turtleboy. Every single day, he has mentioned Meredith. Every single day. Who's obsessed? Please. And then he does his blogs, you guys, for the sole purpose to deflect away from his absolute shit show of a life. He is the King Ratchet. You could literally blog about that man every day for his nasty ass lifestyle. And knowing that Tom, CPU Tom, has known this entire time who the fuck really is Turtleboy. And did you hear Turtleboy yesterday? He wanted to get on the stand and say Leah Genduso's name so fucking bad so that it could be a dude. You wanted to bang her and you probably still do. Why? Because she's hot and you're not. Yeah. You should probably ask Leah why she banged him. So he probably wouldn't blog about me. Thinking it would shut that fucking freak up. It didn't. I think that's a form of coercive control. I think I don't blog about him. I think Aiden Carney's story is worth telling because of the number of actual victims, because he uses his blog to his YouTube channel and his blog to weaponize it in terms of like, if, well, I'll write about you or I'll talk about you or I'll do whatever if you're not going to do X, Y, and Z. Go read his book. His book is his playbook. He's an absolute tard. He's just, to fucking lose a teaching job. Let me tell you how difficult that is. And not literally fuck anybody that's underage and do anything that's illegal. Do you know how hard it is to lose a teaching job? You have the teachers union that protects the fuck out of you. So to lose a fucking job teaching like he did, and the lies that he must spread because they have your back like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, he can get used to spreading shit. That's going to be his ass cheeks. That's how it's going to sound when he farts. I just had to. If you don't know, now you know. Mm-mm-mm. Murky. H-bag, you damn know I've been cracking you up for a couple years now, right? Is that right? Is that right? Fucking idiot. Anyways, right here's your timeline, and it all centers around the fact that this man was never in fear of Meredith O'Neill. Ever. And I would never lie for anybody, okay? And I could sure as fuck, I would never represent somebody and knowingly let them lie, okay? You as a lawyer have to do your due diligence. If whatever your client is saying to you, you're supposed to double check on that. And he himself knew what Turtleboy was saying was lies. And I'm just saying, if somebody wanted to probably muster up some shit, they could probably prove that Tim Bradle knew shit. You see how bad he was just saying, and me and Mr. Betterow, like we didn't tell you to do any of that. We didn't give you that to go give to her. Blah blah blah. Like he was just all about covering him and Betterow. And now it makes all sense why Aiden called December 13th crying to Meredith, because he was going to lose his attorneys. That's what he was trying to claim to her. And now whether it was true or not, okay, because there is no shame in that man. So, hey, you need to do whatever. She needs to stop doing this stuff. Otherwise, we're fine. Like we're withdrawing. And that's how he got. That's why he reached out to Meredith crying, but he left all that stuff out when he was telling the courts his version of events yesterday. Your own attorneys were threatening to withdraw from your case, right? But this all goes back to you had to take your notes there, right? Listen. If you want to be a really good attorney, you have to listen to what anybody is testifying to. And then you have to know your case good enough that after they testify, okay, we're going to run down everything that you just went ahead and said. And then you're going to show that the different parts of their testimony and where they're lying. And you just want to start first by saying, I think you may have, mixed up your dates here. So let's go ahead and go over this again. Okay. But that man, I think he was fucked from jump because he had his hearing aids and they maybe needed to be turned up. He couldn't even hear his own client testifying. But someone was trying to tell me that Lana was a bad person, and I was like, she is a fucking delight, right? Yeah, a bad person. I'm always like, how? Show me how I'm a bad person. Show me how I'm something that you're seeing on the internet or hearing on the internet. And then you should fucking wonder who's saying it and wonder why. I tell people to come over here and find out for yourself what I talk about, how I go about things. It's called truth and transparency for a reason. I go get FOIA requests and I prove as much as I can to an audience. And I would say things like if, why would you ever believe a little clip of 10 seconds? Like, oh my God, look at this person. They're just fucking unhinged. They just said blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, why don't you find about the 5 minutes before and the 5 minutes after? But the most important question is to ask yourself, why is this person sending me this? Who is the person sending me this? And what's their motive for sending this to me? When people try to send me clips or screens, whatever, I'm like, I don't even, if fucking it comes in an email, that never even gets open. I don't care what the fuck you're trying to send me. If I want to know about somebody or learn about somebody, I'm going to do just that. Who is this person? Okay. What do they do? Why? I'm not going to listen to a clip. And so I think the courts, if they do the same thing, okay. And since that judge just accepted everything that you guys all agree to that, I can just look at all this. Go right ahead. What do you think he's going to come back and say? Well, when this closing comes out in a form like this, that it just hones in on in 5 papers talking about, listen, chronological order of events is all that matters here. The chronological orders of events. My client, Meredith O'Neill, came to the courts for what? For the courts to intervene, for help. Help doing what? I want this man. It says here that I qualify under 209A because this man is harassing, threatening, coercive control, trying to get me compelled to do something. That's what he's using over me. He's threatening me. He's harassing me. He's annoying me. All of these things. We broke up. He reaches back out to me. So that's why like nothing in before the breakup, in my opinion, is relevant unless you have to refer to a date as to like laying foundation for what you're referring to after the breakup. That's when the foundation would have needed to be laid in terms of being able for the courts to understand something. Okay. You're going to have to lay some foundation here. That's what laying foundation is. Okay. Tim Bradle doesn't understand that concept. Okay. Tim Bradle thinks laying foundation is Turtleboy gets to tell the world that he's an independent journalist that before he was a teacher and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, that's great, but that's not going to get you a 209A to be granted. So here, the way that I see it is the defendant admitted on the stand and numerous times on his public YouTube channel, it was a tactic as to why and when he filed for a restraining order with the courts. And it's this court. Plaintiff was in a very serious relationship with the defendant, right? Beginning this time through this time. This is a fact that was admitted by both parties during the hearing. Plaintiff came to the courts due to Mr. Carney's consistent behavior after their breakup, which, Your Honor, we believe you will agree is best defined as threatening and harassing in nature. For the purpose to control plaintiff. Plaintiff outlined the circumstances during their relationship in her affidavit for the sole purpose to better acquaint the courts with their toxic relationship and why it was best to end the relationship. That's it. Both parties agree and testified to the relationship terminating. I think it sounds better terminating, but on or about July 10th, 2025. First, plaintiff would like to draw attention to the relevant chronological order of events that transpired after the relationship was terminated. Plaintiff believes this to be the best evidence when considering why plaintiff sought the help of the courts and why defendant only did so after the plaintiff sought the courts to intervene. The relevant chronological order of events is as follows. Well, August 2024, Joey Joe 1376925 Twitter account created. This Twitter account would get renamed State Street Mayor by Aiden Carney in December of 2025. The next thing I would show is different tweets coming from State Street Mayor and putting them here in this chronological order of events, okay? After, whenever he created this. See this right here? Was it 2024, 25, 25? Well, no, I think you would start here. With the mutual breakup, then I think actually you'd want to talk about May 3rd or 4th, because that's going to be the only thing I care about is the white knuckle driving. Okay, so that's going to be March 4th, 2025 is the white knuckle driving. Okay. He claimed that he was in fear, that she was trying to crash them into whatever, driving 100 miles an hour, white knuckled. Well, why did you then get back into a vehicle with Meredith in Sandwich, Massachusetts on July 4th, 2025? And there's probably been times in between that obviously she was driving him. Okay. But all you have to do is just show one incident. That's all that matters, is that could not possibly be true because you got into a vehicle with her and you went down to the Cape. Okay. Wherever the fuck they went. Now, July 10th, 2025, this mutual breakup, plaintiff and defendant's affidavits. Then there is no communication between these dates. Okay. And then why does the communication pick back up? Well, because Aiden Carney has and is paranoid. Paranoid. Why? Because he's facing 100 years in prison. And so what he does is he records Karen Reed on August 28th, 2025. Now, July 9th, 2025. Well, when was it? Yeah, but I just want to know the fantasy, the threesome fantasy. Plaintiff is alleged to defendant's threesome fantasy with okay. Plaintiff is alerted to defendant's threesome fantasy to include Karen Reed in the fantasy. This knowledge possessed by plaintiff put fear in defendant as to plaintiff revealing to Miss Reed and her family of defendant's fantasies. Fantasy. Then, why this is important? That happens prior to. Then now one should have to ask themselves this. Why in the world, if you are in fear of that, would you ever, and then this is what coercive control is. Defendant claims this is coercive control. Defendant then claims, though, that he sent, or plaintiff is claiming as well, hey, this man contacts me. Defendant records Karen Reed's call. Then Karen and the lawyers receive a Proton email with the recorded phone call between Reed and defendant. Defendant contacts via phone call plaintiff the first time since July, whatever the date was. Okay. Why would you be contacting her to then tell her about you're in fear that she is going to use shit against you for coercive control? Now I'm just going to provide more ammo. Defendant called the plaintiff to inform her that Karen Reed suspects that the defendant recorded a phone call between the two. Okay. Does everybody understand? This is all you have to show. This is the nuts. This is the nutty. This is the nutty in him. You are absolutely off your fucking rocker to go into a room and claim that you are in fear that Meredith O'Neill possesses this coercive control over you because of the knowledge that she has, the material that she has, and that she's going to provide it to Karen Reed. Only to then, okay? Only to then, this is what you testified to. Only to then, providing to Meredith more material to be what? Given to Karen Reed, but you're in fear? Right here, the judge will say, okay, I've seen enough. This man is a liar. Why would you give that to Meredith? Was she coercing you into giving her more material? If you don't give me more material to blackmail you with, motherfucker, I'm going to go out there and tell Karen Reed about your threesome fantasies. Come on, guys. This is why lawyers aren't talking about this. But this is all that matters. There is nothing in his closing. That's why I'm showing you this live. There is nothing in his closing that can change this fact. There is nothing in his closing that can change the fact that he said he was scared of Meredith before he ever even left jail, only to then say in paragraph 6 that it was upon reading after a couple months of being together and learning of her past that's when he became in fear of her. And that I tried to leave, but I felt that I could not leave because she would hold things over my head that I had shared with her. Okay. Awesome. That's what he testified to. In this closing, you show that is absolutely not possible because this man provided Meredith with X, Y, and Z. And that's why Aiden tried to come out and first say that Meredith put it on that Facebook account. You guys, the only way that could be on the Facebook account is if it was recorded and you're pressing that record button while you're making that phone call. And it has to happen simultaneously. Okay. I'm on the phone with one device and then I'm recording with another device, my conversation. And guess who did both? Turtleboy. And then I believe he took a different device and recorded the Facebook recording with a different device and then sealed it up in a nice packaged bow on over in a Proton email to none other than Alan Jackson, David Yannetti, and Karen Reed. Who possessed the email? Who had knowledge of what those people's emails were to be able to email them? Aiden Carney. How quickly was it done? Almost instantaneously. What did he go out and tell his little friends that he's like, hey, I'm going to tell Meredith that I sent this to people and I'm really not sure who I sent it to, but I think one of them sent it to Karen because I think like she notified me right away. She knows that I recorded her and that's how that all went down. And so that's why Nurse Kim got a little like, she's like, okay, you need to come clean. Like, you need to say why you did this and what this is all about because we didn't do any of this stuff. Now everybody's looking at us like trying to figure out which one of the 4 people did this. None of them did it. Zero. None of them. And there's 2 ways that I know this because Aiden would never let any of those people live to breathe another day without completely fucking them and going at them and destroying their life. You don't fucking double cross Aiden. Are you kidding me? Look at Jen Altman. What happened to her? He's insane. For him to act like he doesn't even care who did it in one of his recordings that he was talking about, I don't even care. Whoever did it is a fucking horrible friend, Meredith. You don't care? What? Yeah. And then in 4 paragraphs later, he says that he did his research and found out about Meredith. So this is all you need right here. This ends it. He's, in my opinion, if this is the closing that you use, Meredith will be granted a restraining order from Aiden Kearney. Because this right here is proving that he lied repeatedly under oath in front of that judge. And that judge already hates him. This would give him all the ammunition that he would need to say, thank God. Thank God. You know, here it is. And now I got him on zero credibility with anything he testified to. And Meredith is now credible. Period. We'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.